Westside Baby, a nonprofit that provides diapers, formula, cribs, and strollers to families, is inundated with cries for help during the coronavirus outbreak as families worry about how they'll provide the basics.
Demand is unprecedented. So many families, because diapers and wipes and formula are essential, were stocking up when this crisis began. And that meant that for families who were already struggling to make ends meet day to day, we're really not able to stock up in the same ways.
The organization delivered about 22,000 diapers to parents in need on Tuesday.
We're going to need to continue to distribute twice as many diapers per month as we normally would.
In some cases, families under new financial stress cannot afford products. In other cases, they're having a hard time finding shelves stocked. The State Department of Health has an urgent warning. Do not try to make baby formula at home. Some recipes are making the rounds on social media, alarming health officials.
Infant formulas are made to very specific standards that the government sets, and they're made very precisely, and they're made under sterile conditions. It's impossible really to duplicate that at home. And people are really taking a chance on feeding something to their baby that could actually be harmful.
Westside Baby says because of its deep relationships with suppliers, it should be able to meet the increased appetite, which could last for months.
The Department of Health tells me it has not heard of any widespread infant formula shortages, but it says if families in the Women, Infants, and Children Nutrition Program are having difficulty finding those products, they should contact their local WIC office. In Seattle, Ted Land, King 5 News.